He spoke to me from the darkness, though he had been dead for centuries. I was alone in the veld that night, my flashlight weak, the batteries nearly gone. The guide had told us not to wander far from the camp, but I wanted to feel the land in its silence. The stars were bright, and the wind whispered through the tall grass. It should have been peaceful. It wasn't. The first sound was a distant cry, sharp and low, like the mournful song of a reed pipe. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't the wind. It sounded human. I froze, listening. Then I heard footsteps, bare feet slapping against the dry earth. Too fast, too steady. My heart thudded in my chest. Who's there? I called. My voice broke. The veld swallowed the words. The footsteps stopped. That's when I saw him. Shaka Zulu. He stood tall, his silhouette outlined by the pale light of the moon. His skin gleamed, his chest bare, a heavy cowhide shield in one hand, and a short stabbing spear in the other. His eyes, burning like coals, locked onto mine. He was silent, but the air around him buzzed, heavy and alive, like a hive of bees about to burst. Your land, he said finally, his voice deep and cold. You tread where blood has soaked the earth. Do you honor the spirits, or do you mock them with your carelessness? My knees buckled. I wanted to run, to scream, but I couldn't move. My mouth felt dry as sand. I am just passing through, I stammered. I meant no harm. He took a step forward, the earth trembling beneath his feet. The land remembers, even if you do not. Blood demands blood. Behind him, shapes began to form. Men and women, shadowy and twisted, with hollow eyes and mouths stretched wide in silent screams. Warriors, farmers, children. The victims of his wars. They surrounded him, their gazes locked on me. Live, he said, his voice now a whisper, carried on the wind. Or join the forgotten. I ran. I ran until my legs burned and my lungs felt like they would burst. I didn't stop until I was back at the camp, collapsing in front of the fire, gasping for air. No one believed me, of course. They laughed, told me it was my imagination, the stories I'd heard playing tricks on my mind. But when we left the next day, I looked back once. In the distance, by the tall grass, he stood watching, the shadows of the dead at his side. I haven't wandered out in the wild at night alone, I never will.